was the bullseye for some of the heaviest rain totals we've seen so far, and it's still where we find ourselves under a flash flood warning. So a flash flood warning is in effect until 11:15 for portions of Brazoria County. Now, good news, I've been checking in with the National Weather Service. We haven't gotten a lot of reports of any major issues there right now, but still this is in effect until 11:15 for Lake Jackson, Freeport, Sargent, so even a portion of Matagorda County as well, just to the south of the San Luis Pass. Why? They've seen almost 10 inches of rain. 13 Alert Radar estimating almost 10 inches of rain have fallen within this polygon south of Angleton in Texas 35. So that's why we could be running into some waterlogged streets and areas today. Big picture, we've still seen around 3, 4, 5, 6 inches plus in areas that have these purple, red, and orange colors on this map, which is generally concentrated south of the city of Houston and south of I-10, and also where we still have some pretty significant drought conditions. So this is going to be some helpful drought-busting rainfall, but in the meantime, it is going to lead to some street and area flooding and some ponding on roads that we could see for the rest of the day. Now, I know it's feast or famine in some cases because you see portions of Montgomery County, Walker County, San Jacinto, and Polk counties. You've barely seen any of the rain. It was really concentrated along the coast and into Harris County. So what we're looking at right now, besides that flash flood warning, as we try to get some radar data back here, we still have a couple of light showers that are pushing their way through the region. And so we'll keep about a 20 to 30% chance for rain into the early afternoon. And we could see a few isolated showers as well develop as the main system begins to push out of the area. Meanwhile, tomorrow, unfortunately, we are stuck in this rainy and stormy weather pattern where more showers and storms are in the forecast. While the threat for severe weather is pretty low, we have that additional threat of street flooding tomorrow. We'll go over the timing and trajectory of the next round of rain we're expecting overnight into tomorrow morning, Samika, coming up in my full forecast. Likely tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday as well until we get into more of a drier weather pattern, potentially heading into next weekend. So what's going on? We have the subtropical jet over Mexico. That's helped feeding these storm systems. We've got Gulf air coming in from the Gulf of Mexico, providing the moisture. Then we also have the polar jet stream too far to our north to get us into any other kind of weather pattern. So this is why we are stuck in this rainy weather pattern that is going to continue for the next few days. What we're watching for with these big thunderstorm systems we see in the morning is for those to develop in West Texas the day before. So later today, I'll be watching to see what kind of storm action we see closer to Lubbock, Midland, San Angelo, and even San Antonio. Then those storm systems overnight push farther east, closer to us. So this is the flood risk for tomorrow, taking into account that the ground is already super saturated from what we saw today. So tomorrow, the risk for street flooding increases with any kind of rain we're going to see because the ground is going to act like concrete and cause a lot of runoff. We can't absorb all this rain headed our way tomorrow. So street flooding, another possibility tomorrow, even potentially flash flooding for areas that saw 5 inches plus of rain today. So we're looking potentially south of I-10 for a potential risk there. But remember, anytime we see heavy rain in a short amount of time, that's when the risk for area and street flooding increases and potentially flash flooding depending on how heavy the rain is. But like what we had today, many areas will see more of a steady rain that will be better for drought conditions. And then a lot of that can feed into our bayou and creek systems, which good news right now, we are starting to dry out. Temperatures have remained pretty steady though in the low 70s, and with a cloudy sky will be gradual to warm. And this is going to allow for all of the water to drain into our bayous and creeks, which still have enough room. I've been checking with the Harris County Flood Control District website all day. Everything's looking good to go for us to welcome more rain in the forecast for tomorrow. What I'm watching right now, too, to forecast the rain for today and know, yes, we are likely draining out. This is our water vapor satellite imagery. What I'm watching for are those big pulses of blue. That's some deeper moisture that could be more steady to heavy rainfall. All of that is pushing off towards the Gulf. We just have some stratiform rain and some sprinkles left over, and that's what I'm also seeing on 13 Alert Radar right now. So checking out the radar, the heaviest rain is offshore. We have some light showers likely in portions of Galveston County, Chambers County right now, and even into Harris County, possibly Montgomery County. Some just very light rain that is falling from the sky. Big picture, again, we have picked up 3, 4, 5 inches plus with potentially some bullseyes in portions of Matagorda and Brazoria County, upwards of 10 inches of rain. So all for future check for today, that is moving out. I wouldn't rule out a couple of light showers for the rest of the day, about a 20 to 30% chance for rain, but we're going to be dry until tomorrow. Now for tomorrow morning, we're likely going to see remnants of big thunderstorms push in from the west, and that arrives here into southeast Texas likely around 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. That brings some more widespread rain and possibly a few claps of thunder tomorrow throughout the day, and then those begin to exit and move out. Now generally we could see some showers and storms track a little farther north tomorrow depending on what the wind pattern is, but I would just be ready for some more rounds of rain throughout the day tomorrow and be mindful of some street and area flooding. Rest of the 10-day outlook from here, I also want to point out that typically what we see the next day could be dependent on what happens the day before, and that kind of pattern stays with us until Sunday. Looking ahead to next week, we should see a different jet pattern that still brings the opportunity for rain, but potentially not as much as we've seen with this rainy pattern this week.